into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here?
I got to see that gentleman on Saturday, and it really, really made me happy to be able to see him again. Again, that's Theron Roberson, who performs our intro and outro music. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful musician here in Colorado, and somebody that if you hire him to come and play in your party, he, of course, will donate to the mission of your choice. So, all you got to do is reach out to us and find out how. But yeah, Theron, being able to talk to him, it was long, long time overdue. And it was so much fun being able to reach out and speak to him again. And here in the next couple of weeks, everybody will know why I was speaking to him. So other than, we're just really good friends. So I'm allowed to speak to him. That's why. Yeah, I'm allowed to speak to whoever I want, I guess. But personal note, tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Mountain Time, I'm going to become a grandfather again. My daughter is being induced tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. So we are expecting a new granddaughter sometime tomorrow. Very, very excited for this. It's weird for me because I went from not having zero grandkids, neither one of my natural sons have any children, to where I get married, and now all of a sudden this is my seventh. So 0 to 7 in light speed, and a couple of them are 11 years old, so it's not like they all just happened overnight. But we are extremely, extremely excited about this, and it's out of everything that's gone on in a weird, twisted way. This is something that's exciting and really helping to cheer me up and keep my faith, and just lift me and my family. One of the videos you saw was for the chili cook-off. The last video you saw, it's coming up. It is coming up quicker than anticipated. Of course, shoulder surgery kind of wiped out about 3 weeks of planning. So now I'm sitting there going, oh, wow, this is in like 3 weeks. The QR code you see in the corner, that is how you can enter. Or do you make a mean chili? Do you make a mild chili? Do you make a chili that you think can do some damage? Or do you just make a chili that, we want to enter because we want to support the mission on getting these books into hospitals for these kids? What we're doing is we're going to be asking people to bring us children's books. And what we want to do for these donations is have you come in and sign your family name. This one happens to be signed by our dear friend, the goddess of the grape, Stephanie Samos, all the way from Pennsylvania. And we're going to put this book into the Northern Colorado hospitals. And we're going to say, please give this book to a child when they come in. These nurses get to take and write a kid's name inside there, and take and give this book to a child who's in there and is scared and doesn't know exactly what's going on. This is a way that this kid's always going to remember somebody cared about me. And that wasn't my parents. Of course the parents care, but somebody else in the community really cared about us. COVID relations or COVID restrictions keeps us from collecting toys and taking in toys and stuff like that. So we continue to put in books and board games for the family rooms, spiritual and religious texts of all faiths. We're not telling anybody what they can and cannot bring in when it comes to that. And puzzles, art supplies, stuff like that. we can take all that stuff in because it can be sanitized before giving to the children. But this is something that helps keep them occupied, helps them pass a little bit of time, and tells them, hey, you little one, we care about you. So, and it also shows a kid how easy it is to help someone. So join us, won't you? And by the way, you're not in Northern Colorado? Steal this idea. Do this in your own community. Collect books for your local hospital. If you need help getting it started, give me a call. QR code. Give me a call. Ask me, hey, how can I get this started? We'll help you out, because this is a great way to show how much you care. It is the second Wednesday of the month, which means I get to talk to one of my great friends, Mr. Les Simpson. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Did you guys paint your office, or is it just because the night is coming a little bit quicker and it got a little bit darker?
That's it.
Yeah. So how have you been the last month?
Been doing good. Contacting a lot of people and getting this new concept of employee benefits and fundraising out there. And we go live next week.
Yeah.
Got a lot of nonprofits that are very interested because we can support them for $35 a month and show them how they can make $1,000 coming in monthly within 90 days.
And just as a message, when you guys see nonprofits, when you see our email, open it up, check it out, because we replay the video in there from last month, because Les explains how his program can benefit your nonprofit on an ongoing basis, not just today, not just tomorrow, but for the foreseen future. So
yeah, what we call legacy funding. You only need to get people in once, and it's going to continue forever, and then they will get other people in. So it's like a vine of flowers. It just keeps growing.
Yep. And one of the best things about this is, Les, is there any restrictions on what they do with the money?
Nope.
Nope.
Not at all.
No, there is not.
It's not a grant, so they can use it for whatever they want.
Well, that's I just love that when grants are great. They really are. And grants take care of a lot of things that you're not able to take care of without, them. But being able to say, you know what, it's nice to be able to take care of this, but we really need to get this bill paid to continue our mission. It's nice to have that flexibility.
You bet.
Les, joining us this week, we have a special guest, Carol. Well, I just renamed you. I hope you don't mind. But Carol Cordova. Why don't you go on ahead and tell us how you met and tell us a little bit about Carol, please?
Sure. I'm a veteran, and I went to the United Veterans Coalition of Colorado, and at the Post 1. And I met her there, and she was telling me, which I didn't know anything about, I'm going to learn as much as you are tonight, how the government allows veterans much easier access to mortgages. And so we're going to be talking about that tonight. And so I thought, well, there's a lot of veterans on here, or a lot of veterans that really need to know about this, because they've got programs that I had no concept. And so she's going to educate us all.
I've started quite a few rides out of Post 1, so that's pretty cool. I've been there myself. So when I was riding with the VFW Warriors, we started quite a few rides out of there. So without any further delay, Kara or Carol, whichever you prefer, Cordova, the senior mortgage consultant. How are you doing, Carol?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Thank you so much for the introduction. I really appreciate it.
Hey, it's not a problem. I appreciate what you do. Housing for our veterans is one of the main reasons why we lose them.
Right.
If a veteran has a problem finding a place to live, well, they have a problem finding a reason to live.
Right.
Carol, what are some of the advantages? And we'll get to your power play here in a minute, but what are some of the advantages you can offer a veteran?
Yeah, so VA home loans are extremely empowering. The thing that I see out there as a mortgage consultant, as a veteran myself, is that a lot of veterans, like Les, attained to, that he doesn't know about VA benefits, and a lot of them don't. So I do these programs, these PowerPoints, as you're going to bring up, and all of these advantages of a VA home loan, so I can get the word out, whether it be in the kitchen one-on-one, whether it be in groups, whether it be in a forum like this. I don't care, as long as I get in front of as many veterans or people who know veterans, like you were saying, Zach. Not everybody on this forum is our veterans, but you know a veteran, your friends, you're sitting around the kitchen table, your family are veterans, whatever the case may be. And there's just a lot of, not only is there not a lot of information about the benefit itself, but if you know about the benefit, there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of myths on that benefit as well, that keep a lot of veterans from feeling that empowerment, feeling that, because they did serve their country. And this is a benefit that they are able to use, get a roof over their head, feel empowered about what they accomplished and what they did in the armed services.
This is something I think I'm going to go on ahead and bring up at the end of your presentation as well. But I want to make sure that we do this now. Carol, how do nonprofits, say a veterans organization, how do they get a hold of you to come and speak to a group of vets?
I would love for them to get in touch with me. To get in front of veterans is actually my cause. So I do appreciate you asking me that. They can get in touch with me at ccordova@lendingvets.com. That is my email address. My website is www.lendingvets.com. And of course, they can always give me a call or a text at 303-332-7350. And then I would absolutely respond to them. I will call them, get their information, and just to have a nice talk with them about what their audience is, what they want, what the message they want me to bring to their organizations.
And we will always have this information on the website. We're going to have this information to where if you need those numbers, if you need that information, please get a hold of us. We'll have it ready and available for you. So can you work outside of Colorado?
So a caveat to that, I am in the midst of getting licensed in the state of Texas and Florida right now. I am expanding my broker. I'm a disabled veteran mortgage owned broker. Say that fast 5 times. But I'm
not sure I could say that once, sweetheart. I really don't know.
I'm very proud of what I've accomplished. I've been working with veterans for 28 years. I'm a veteran, like I said, a veteran myself. And, I think that I need to expand my business to other veterans and other organizations outside the state of Colorado. I love the state of Colorado. I've been here since I was a 1-year-old. However, I think that there is a lot of veterans in the States that need my help as well. And I'm very proud of it.
Before we continue, I do want to make sure that I reach out to you and a personal message to both of you. Thank you very much for your service. Our country is not what it could be without you, without the service and the sacrifice you took away from your own family. So thank you very, very much for your service, and we we'll do everything we can to make sure that we allow people the knowledge of your programs. So,
right.
But Les,
I do want to tell a little story about my service, if you don't mind.
Please.
Yes. So I was a little bit about me. I was on board a destroyer tender out of Alameda, California, called the USS Samuel Gompers. It was a surface tender. And we did 2 Western Pacific cruises. That's what they call them. But of course, they were not cruises. We're in a metal ship. So we went across across the ocean a couple times. And one of those cruises, brought me to the Persian Gulf War. We were out there from April to October of 1991. But the ship I was on got commissioned in 67 or something like that. And 66, 67. And one of my friends that I belonged to with another group, a Vietnam vets group, he was on board it in Vietnam. And it was shiny and new back then. When I got on it, it was not so much. It was more like a tin can, if you will. So so we ended up, going out to the Persian Gulf in the middle of the war, or whatever the case may be, in April, and the ship broke down, and it broke down for 15 hours. And we were out of lights, water, everything. There was the light. We were dead in the water, if you will. So we're just floating with 1,600 people on board. The captain finally let us out of the skin of the ship, where we can actually see the stars from horizon to horizon. And that was a sight to see. And after 15 hours, we finally got the lights on. It finally started rolling, to the west. And then it broke down again the next night at 9 o'clock. So I had to do for 9 hours to do the whole thing. It's a harrowing experience. I was 20 years old. I mean, what an experience that was. And I would not change my service for the world. I was proud of what I did. I make a joke of it now, but it was, it's a serious situation when you're in the military and you're going off to war. But I'm very proud of what I did. And now I'm able to extend what I've learned over the last 28 years to other veterans and empower them to do the same thing. So I'm very proud of it.
I think one of the things that your story really emphasizes is how, the kind of challenges that are unforeseen that kids
yeah,
get thrown into. And not all of them are, of course, not all of them are planned. And even though we live in the country with the best of, the best equipment available, they still use some of the old stuff too.
They did.
So,
They
yeah,
did. It was,
but
it was decommissioned like right after 1994, 94,
Yeah.
95. I was in from 89 to 93. So it was, but you're right. I mean, as young as you are, of course, it's a volunteer service right now. But obviously it wasn't in the past, but it's a volunteer service now. But still, you're 18, 19, 20 years old, and you're thrown into things that obviously you didn't expect, but you overcome. There's no other choice. You just overcome it in whatever you can gather in yourself, and you just do it.
Yeah, you go from what party am I going to go to how do I help my, my brethren, sister, and how do I help them survive in this difficult situation? So
Exactly.
in a snap of a finger, and one just statement to the government, promise to the government.
Yeah, right. When I got out, and this is kind of going to be a segue into my PowerPoint, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
But when I got out, I didn't get a lot of information regarding the benefits that I got going in. I mean, that's not why I went in. But when I came out, they didn't really sit down with me and talk to me about what was available to me. I mean, Les, you said that you really didn't know as well. I mean, they're trying to rectify that by having some sort of program that the veterans are able to sit down and get maybe a glossed over feel of what their benefits are. A little birdie, I must have heard something somewhere, because when I got out, I did go to the back of a newspaper when they were around, and it said VA home loan ? Need one. And so I went there, and the person who helped me was really, really bad. Just didn't educate me, didn't make me feel empowered, didn't make me feel like I was using my benefit. It was more of, making her work, if you will. So I made sure that I read the VA handbook cover to cover, and made sure that another veteran would not have to do and not feel the way I felt when I was supposed to feel empowered, and instead I felt sick to my stomach. And I really don't want another veteran to feel that way, if possible. or at least educate them on what they can do to help themselves to get into a position of that,
Carol, and I don't want to talk a lot about my program here, but that is exactly why we concentrate on your story as a business person, because we all know that there is something in your past that you decided, wait a minute, okay, I got this done, but it wasn't a lot of fun, or I would have done it so much different.
Right.
And as a business person, that's what we want to do, is we want to present people your why. Why do I do this? Why am I in this position? And what led me here? And this is my information, so get a hold of me, because look, I went through the garbage so you don't have to.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why we do this. Les, before we get going with the PowerPoint, did you have any questions?
No, I think she's pretty much covered the history, and it sounds like she did all self-education, which I think is very interesting, because today they actually have certifications in it, which I learned this week. And so, but she has so many years, I'm sure she's self-taught, and like they said, some of the best people are self-taught. So
yeah, 28 years with boots on the ground is education enough, I think. But there is certification for veterans, and I encourage anybody who wants to help vets out to, if they're in the lending or mortgage institutions, to maybe even look at that certification if they don't know anything about it. Of course, if they don't know anything about it, they can always ask me. I'm here to educate anybody and everybody, just so we can get the word out.
You bet.
Well, let's get into it. Let's teach these people a little about dispelling the myths of VA home loans.
Okay. So as we'll just leave it on this. As I was going out and talking, in the kitchen table, toe to toe, again, in groups, in organizations, I've noticed that the same situations and the same questions came up. So I wanted to put this PowerPoint presentation to maybe recognize and dispel the myths, because these are some of the points that the reason why vets do not get homes. And it's not just the veterans who don't know, it's people even in my industry who don't know. Loan officers, mortgage consultants, or realtors, they really don't. Some of them do not, a lot of them do, but some of them don't. So they just do not discuss it with the veteran. And then these myths keep going and going and going. So I've again taken upon myself to maybe discuss each one of these and shed some light on what I'm seeing out there when I'm toe to toe with these veterans. So I've made this PowerPoint. So next slide for me, please. Thank you. So kind of went over all this stuff. Veteran of the United States Navy, been in the industry for 28 years. I do work on other type of loans, although my niche is VA. Because I'm a veteran, I belong to veteran organizations, et cetera. And I do get in front of a lot of vets, and veteran benefits are my passion. So I'm very proud of that. Next slide, please. So the objectives of this, understanding the advantages of a VA home loan, because there are a lot. Who is eligible? The entitlement, what it takes to have the entitlement to the VA loan, credit requirements, and of course, I will be dispelling some of the myths about a VA home loan. Next slide, please. So the first myth. So a lot of veterans and people in my industry, they believe that the VA actually lends the money. This is a pretty big myth as well. The VA does not lend the money; they guarantee the loan against default. But the lender is the one that lends the money. So I am involved in 7 different lenders that are all VA approved. So I find the lender for the veteran, if you will. So it's great. I'm not captive, if you will. But what they all believe is that, or what some of them believe, not all, of course, is that the VA is the one that lends the money. The lenders, they relax their guidelines, if you will, credit and debt to income ratios. If anybody has any questions, let me know. but they relaxed those because the VA guarantees these loans. So now the VA guidelines and the underwriting guidelines are now relaxed, if you will, because the VA does guarantee these loans. So it's a great opportunity for veterans who may not think that they have the credit or whatever the case may be. They can get into these loans. Okay, next slide, please. So the advantages of a VA home loan: there's no money down. It's 100% financing. There is no mortgage insurance on it. So it is the only loan of its kind out there, the only loan. And it's only designed for veterans and surviving spouse. And I'll go into that. It's absolutely phenomenal. There's no prepayment penalties on it. They could pay it off at any time. Again, relaxed credit score and income requirements because the VA guarantees the loan. And then, of course, there's a choice of mortgage terms, 30, 25, 20, or 15 years on these loans. Next one, please. So who is eligible? You have active duty personnel. They could still be in the service. You got retired or discharged veterans, either honorably to general. You have National Guard. Now, National Guard has its own kind of specified timeline. Usually it's around 6 years. But if the National Guard had been in active duty during that time, whether it be peacetime or wartime, in different different days, if you will, we can usually get a certificate of eligibility. And I'll tell you what that is on the next slide, but we can have them be eligible to get a home loan as well. Of course, I would have to, get their NGB 22 as a discharge paper and submit it, but it can be done. And I've seen it done quite often. So there's POW MIA spouses. There's surviving spouses. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. So the myth number 2 is that a lot of veterans and their spouses do not know that the surviving spouse of a veteran may be able to qualify for some of these veterans benefits and receive compensation from the VA. Now, the caveat to that, kind of in layman's terms, if you will, a little bit more into it with the VA, is that the service, the veteran, he or she has to die from what they call a service-connected disability. Whether it be, let's just say, for instance, cancer or something, they die of cancer, the VA was giving the veteran compensation for that disability that they got in the military. And then the veteran died of that, then their spouse may be able to qualify for some of that compensation and home ownership benefits and VA hospital and the other things that come along with the veteran's service-connected disability. So if you talk to a spouse of a veteran, or if you talk to a couple and the veteran, please have that conversation with them. It is called, the acronyms of the military. It's called DIC. It's called Dependency and Indemnity Compensation. And this is, again, it's the VA has to determine that the veteran died of the service-connected disability, but then that surviving spouse may be able to get their benefits. Okay, so it's really important to have those spouses know that, because if the veteran doesn't know their benefits, the surviving spouse surely doesn't. So.
Okay, Carol, I'd like to ask you a question before we move on. So. The people who are dealing with this Camp Lejeune issue, their spouses would be eligible if they're sick.
If they are, they have to. Now, I'm not a VSO. A veteran service officer is one that can help a veteran file a claim through the VA for their service-connected disability. Okay.
Okay.
So if like these Camp Lejeune folks that were in there during that designated time, they could file a claim for free through the VA, through the VSOs designated in their county or their state. We have several here in Colorado. I'm friends with quite a few, and they help veterans go through the minutia. And the time, and it is a little bit of work. You have to look past through your VA records, which the VA has usually, and get your DD-214 and and maybe look through your records. But it's worth, I think, just personally, I think it's worth taking a look into filing a claim through the VA with the VSO. Sit down with them. They'll file a claim for you. And then you may be able to receive compensation from the VA for that service-connected disability.
Okay, thank you for that answer.
Of course. Okay, great. And if anybody has any questions, again, they can always give me a call, okay? Or email or whatever the case may be. Next slide, please. So entitlement. So we get entitlement through what they call a certificate of eligibility. Okay. This is done by usually somebody like myself. VSOs can do it, or Veterans Benefits office there at the hospitals and stuff. They can also pull your COE. But it's needed to figure out what your entitlement is for the VA home loan. Don't try to do the calculations. We do them for you. But it is needed. And in order to get that, usually the VA has come up with a streamlined process through the VA portal. I go in there and I put in some information and pop comes up the COE. Sometimes I need a little bit more information, your DD-214 or for National Guard, your 22, and then I upload that and then they determine, and it only takes usually about 5 days. Long gone are the days when we used to send out a form to the VA and they would send us a green form back. It usually took 8-12 weeks to get that. So I think that another myth that I go into, probably look at the slide here in a couple slides, is that the VA myth is that the VA takes a long time to do these loans. It's absolutely untrue. And I think maybe that's the reason why that myth is there, is because it's come down through the generations of that COE that took 12 weeks to get. Now it's almost instantaneous. They have streamlined it tremendously. Okay. So just be aware of that. I can get the COE with no problem. So if the VA benefit has already been used, you can use it again. A lot of veterans think they could only use it once in a lifetime. That's myth number 3. A lot of people in my industry think that the vets can only use it once in a lifetime. It's simply untrue. You can use it time and time and time and time and time again. You can use it to your heart's content. You can use it as many times as you absolutely want to. And your surviving spouse, again, if she receives or he receives DIC, can also use this benefit again.
Carol, if you can clarify that, you said use it again. Are you talking about if you have 3 houses, you can do all the same, or one has to be paid off? Or what do you mean use it?
Well, you know what, you trumped me there, because that's my next slide, Les. Okay. So go to the next slide, please. Okay, so this is a bonus entitlement. So the one before, the slide before was, let's say you sell your house and you want to purchase, it has to be a primary residence, It cannot be a second home or investment home. The VA says no to that, okay? But say if you sell a house and you want to buy another one, you can use it. You sell that house, buy another one, you can use it. Sell another house, buy another one. This bonus entitlement goes even further. Now you can actually have another VA loan out there and use the VA benefit to purchase another one. Where a lot of vets, a lot of people in the industry say, you know what, you have to sell that other one before you purchase another one. You have to clear that entitlement up before you purchase another one. That's simply untrue. You can actually have more than one VA loan at a time. You can have multiple VA loans as long as the bonus entitlement covers it, and as long as you qualify, there's qualification, as long as you qualify for both payments and this, that. But I want the veterans and their friends and their family to know that these vets can get into another home, even if they have one in another state. They can actually even rent that one in the other state, move to Colorado, purchase a primary residence, and use their VA benefits. Okay. So
is there a maximum period of time they can do that? I mean, if they can't sell it for 10 years, can you rent it for 10 years?
Does not matter. Does not
And
matter.
the other question,
You can own that property until you give it to your family. You can own that property for forever. And as long as you purchase the next property as a primary residence, it has to be primary. You can rent that. You can rent it to your kids. You can rent it to a renter. You can do whatever you want to with that home. You don't have to sell it. You don't have to displace your family. Active duty personnel, they're going to another duty station. They don't have to displace their family to purchase another one in another state. They can stay there, and then the veteran can actually purchase a property in the state that he or she is going to be stationed in, right? So, and this goes for veterans as well. And another caveat as well is those vets who maybe had a short sale or foreclosure in the past. Now, all of a sudden, they think they cannot use their benefit again because their entitlement is used up from that foreclosure. Well, guess what? Now we have the bonus entitlement. So now we can get them into another home, even if they went into foreclosure on a VA home in the past.
Carol, I think that is one of the most important facts that we can get across to people, because after you've had a foreclosure, you feel like your life is crumbling down upon you. And I know that we've had a lot of people who feel like, who feel hopeless at that point in time.
Right.
So I think that, and I've been sitting here reading that over and over again, trying to make sure I'm reading it correctly, because I was like, no, real, wow.
Right. So, I have gotten so many, I've worked with hundreds of veterans, you guys. I mean, it's just wonderful that I can help veterans purchase or refinance. And this is part of what they come and say, really, I can. And I mean, just the sheer joy that comes out of that is wonderful, because they just think that, because it's foreclosed. I mean, back in the 80s, I went into foreclosure. Well, let's look at it. Let's pull your certificate of eligibility. Let's see how much you have left. Let's go for this. And, we'll all do the calculation bonus entitlement, and we can get them into another home, even if they had a foreclosure that used some of their entitlement. It's really cool. It's really a good, it's a myth. It's one of those things that, nope, that's it. I'm done. And it's not. It's great. And we can certainly try to help them out. I mean, and get there and use what's left of their entitlement. They're entitled to it, right? So let's use it for homeownership benefits.
When you said what's left, I mean, can we go down to Castle Pines and buy a $15 million home?
Yes.
So when?
Yes, but Les, that's a great question. But with the calculation, we're kind of getting in it. With the calculation, you still would have, if this is a bonus entitlement. With the calculation, you may have to bring some down, depending on how much you used. Now, if you totally restored your entitlement, in other words, we're not using the bonus entitlement. Go to the other. Go to the one, the slide up for me, would you, Zach? One up. Okay. So this entitlement, if it's totally restored, we're not using the bonus entitlement now. You don't have a VA loan out there.
I see. Okay.
You don't have a foreclosure. You can use that whole entitlement to purchase a $1.5 million home if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can go into how we have been, and this is the last one of the last slides I have. What updated VA bill was passed that allows us to do this, and it's fantastic. So 2 slides down, I guess now. Okay, credit requirements. So again, the VA guarantees the loans. The lenders relax their credit score requirements. The myth is that you have to have a 620. I have to say, some lenders do require 620. Some lenders require 640. Some lenders require 680 and even a 720. I have lenders that go down to 500. A lot of my other lenders go down to 580. You do not have to have a 620 credit score. The VA has no credit score requirements. Again, it's the lenders that deem that. So find yourself a lender, right, that will work with your credit score, and not have to. I mean, obviously, you want to work on your credit because everything is predicated upon credit, but you can certainly maybe talk to a lender that does go down to the 500s where you can get into a home. Okay. So the credit requirements through the VA guidelines are as follows, though. This doesn't matter what lender you go through. Chapter 7 has to be discharged for 2 years with reestablished credit. Okay. If you want to call me on that on a case by case, please let me know. You can currently be in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You can be actually currently in one and purchase a house or refinance. You just have to have had made 12 months to the courts on time. Okay, so we have a 12-month satisfactory payments to the courts within your Chapter 13. Foreclosure, you do have to have 2 years out of foreclosure. Okay. And then you cannot be delinquent on any federal debt, student loans. You can't owe the government or the IRS back taxes and be delinquent on that. Okay. But you can make yourself whole, or we could talk about making yourself whole and see what that means in order to be able to qualify for that. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. The appraisal. So another myth is that the appraiser is going to, the VA appraiser is going to, unfortunately, a lot of realtors think that the VA appraiser is going to tear the house apart. It's simply untrue. They go in, they want to make sure that the veteran, doesn't get into a dilapidated home. There's always safety and health issues, regardless of a VA, FHA, conventional. If the roof is falling down, it's got to get fixed. If the windows are broken, it's got to be fixed. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's VA, FHA, conventional loan. The only other thing that the VA requires is a handrail on stairs of 30 degrees or something, laminate on subfloors. I mean, really simple fixes, but it's come down through generations or whoever started it. I'm not sure that the appraisers are going to go in and, and not appraise the home, because of chairs broken or something. And it's simply untrue. So I just want to have people out there understand that the appraisers don't do that. Okay. Next slide, please. Oh, yep. Okay. So purchasing, obviously we do need income documentation per VA guidelines. Doesn't matter the lender. Okay. VA guidelines, you have to have income. We have to make sure that the veteran has the ability to repay the loan or to pay the loan. Okay. There's certain guidelines there. Certain lenders require more restrictive guidelines to that even, or more restrictive guidelines to credit. So please, if you're looking for a lender, make sure that you don't get discouraged by going to just one lender, because there's lenders out there that are willing to work with you and that really have what they call no overlays. They take what the VA is going to give them and they say, we're good with that. Okay. So assets, source and seasoned, assets are just needed during the purchase process. The veteran is 100% financed, no money down, but assets are needed within the purchase process itself, whether it be VA, FHA, conventional, doesn't matter. It's called earnest money. And please call me if you have any questions on that. So myth number 7. So VA purchases can take an extended amount of time to close. I kind of alluded to this before. I think it came from that COE that took 12 weeks, or from the appraiser. The appraisers, they didn't have enough appraisers at one time that were vetted through the VA. They didn't have enough appraisers. So it was taking a lot longer. So I think with these two things going on, I think it came down that the VA loans are taking a whole bunch of time and locks are questioned and stuff. It's simply untrue. We can get them closed within the same amount of days as any other loan now. They've streamlined it so much. So just don't think that way anymore. If you do, and if you have any questions on why, please let me know and give me a call or an email. Okay. Next slide, please. So if you have a VA loan now, or if you're a veteran and you don't have a VA loan on your home and you're paying mortgage insurance or something like that, let me know, because there's certain ways you can maybe refinance into a VA loan, right? So there's 2 ways to refinance. One is an interest rate reduction loan, or the acronym again interest rate reduction refinance loans, IRRLs, IRRLs, streamline refinances. You may have heard these terms. They're one and the same. It allows the veteran who has a VA loan currently on their home to lower their rate very easily. There's no income, there's no assets needed, there's not even an appraisal that's needed. It is just designed to lower that interest rate. So right now, as everybody knows, their interest rates are a little high. Well, maybe an opportunity may come about when the feds reduce rates, if and when they do, that they may have an opportunity, these veterans who are getting in homes now, to refinance later into this wonderful way of refinancing very easily. All this stuff they had to provide when they purchased their house, they don't have to now, right? Because they're already in a VA home loan. The second way is a cash out, whether you're in a VA loan now or whether you can go into a VA loan with your entitlement. You can cash out of your home 100% with no mortgage insurance for debt consolidation, home improvements, whatever you feel is necessary for that money. Get some of the equity out of your house. That one we do have to requalify you. The VA requires us to get an appraisal, to get income documentation, but asset verification is not needed in this case because it's a cash out. You already own your home, right? So those are kind of the two ways that you can refinance. A lot of veterans I actually talked to got into, for whatever reason, probably because their agent didn't know or their mortgage consultant didn't know some of these myths and the truths about these myths, and they got them into a totally different loan, which has mortgage insurance on it. I have refinanced countless amounts of veterans out of loans that have mortgage insurance on them into VA loans that have no mortgage insurance on them. Okay. Next slide, please. So these are the updates. So this is the big one, Les. I know you had a question regarding that Castle Rock property. Blue Water Navy bill of 2019. This was huge for the homeownership benefit. Not only was it huge for veterans claiming disability that were involved, in other things as well, service connected, but this was huge for homeownership benefits as well. What they did is they said we have a county loan limit. Let's just say in the 2024 it's going to be $750,000. Okay, before this bill was passed, the veteran was responsible for whatever's above that county loan limit. The veteran was responsible for 25% of the difference. So in your case, Les, you would be bringing in between 750 and that 1 million mark or whatever. You would have to bring in 25% of the difference between those. The Blue Water Navy bill got rid of all of that. Now the veteran can get $1 million home without having to bring any of that in. No 25% difference. That's 100% financing. They do not have to bring that 25% difference in anymore. It's huge. Yeah. Because it opens it up now, especially with, homes. Unfortunately, sometimes, obviously they're not always $1 million, all around the nation. They're still extremely affordable, even in the state of Colorado. Okay. So if it's below that county, then there's nothing to worry about. But it's wonderful if you were to be able to afford a higher priced home. Okay. The funding fee. So the funding fee was reduced. It was raised to kind of pay some of this bill, if you will. The one that was 2019 was raised for a couple of years. It just went down again to the threshold as I've known it for the last 28 years. So it's gone down back to where I know it. The funding fee is this. The funding fee gets added to the loan if the veteran is not service connected. If they never filed a claim with that VSO I was talking about, they never got a service connected disability compensation, then the VA funding fee is charged. If you were to file for compensation through the VA for anything that happens to you in the service, whether it be a broken foot, now you limp or whatever, then you receive, not only do you receive a little bit of compensation from the VA, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, but You also have this funding fee totally and absolutely waived. You do not pay a cent. And sometimes it can be, sometimes a little bit costly, although regardless of the funding fee being added, it's still 100% financing with no mortgage insurance. So please don't, the funding fee is still fine. This is the thing that funds all these loans, right? This is the one that funds all these loans that the VA guarantees. But if you are service connected, the funding fee is totally and absolutely waived. You're exempt. It's called exempt from the funding fee. Okay, so it's kind of it sometimes can be big to be service connected. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so if you have any questions for me, I know this is a lot of information, but if you have any questions for me, feel free to call me, email me, text me. If you want me to give this talk, if you think of anything else that you want me to talk about, please let me know. I could put it in my presentation. If you want me to talk in front of organizations, or if you want me to come to your kitchen table and talk to you one-on-one, I'm more than willing to do that, and just to get this information out.
And they can use the QR code that they see there on the screen, or of course your email is ccordova@lendingvets.com, correct?
Correct. Yes. And my phone number is 303-332-7350. And then you can also scan that QR code. Thank you for mentioning that. And then just save it to your phone if you have any questions.
Well, that sounds great. And once again, all of this information will be available on our website, communitypayitforward.us. And if you have any questions, please, you can also just reach out to us. We will send you this information because I think it is very, very important. There were some great points. And I think it was kind of funny because we had, I believe it was like 4 messages that were talking about the credit score. And then all of a sudden you mentioned the credit score. So I was like, well, all of a sudden they go, okay, never mind, we got it.
Right.
So
there's those. There are a few that I just hear more and more of, but yes, the credit score is a biggie for sure.
Look, COVID didn't help anybody's credit score.
Right.
You had to read, you had to steal from Peter to pay Paul. We do have 2 other questions that people asked. And one of them, and I know that you mentioned this one, but she just wanted verification.
Sure.
And it was, if I want to use you as a non-vet home lender, can I?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I do all loans. I do FHA, conventional, non-QM. If you don't know what that is, it doesn't matter. I do all types of reverse mortgage. I do all types of loans. I just talk on this to make sure that veterans know their benefits as well. But yes, absolutely. As a non-vet, there are a lot of wonderful government programs. There's a lot of conventional programs, and I can certainly talk to you about all of that, qualifications, et cetera, on that.
Okay, and then the last one, and I know that we're cutting it close on your time with us. It was a gentleman named Mike. I have an old loan. I have an old VA loan with a high payment. What can I do? Can you remortgage? Can you do anything like that to try to lower your payment?
100%. That was part of one of the slides that I had. There's 2 ways. You could do an interest rate reduction loan, reducing from a VA loan to another VA loan, no income, no assets, no appraisal, just to lower your rate and lower your payment. Or you could do a cash out to get some cash to pay your home improvements or debt. And then in the meantime, we may be able to also lower your payment and lower your interest rate. It just depends on what this gentleman's, his name was Mike.
Yes.
Yeah. Mike, it just depends on what your interest rate is, and what you're paying in mortgage. So.
And this was the slide that answers that question. So
that's correct. So I would certainly, if you want to reach out to me, I can go over some, obviously no obligation, go over some numbers with you. And if it works, it works, whatever the case may be.
All right. Well, that's great. I happen to know this gentleman. I think the only thing, the one scary thing about him is he's like really old, you know. So, uh, he's 6 months older than I am. He's my cousin, and I
Uh-oh.
always call him old man every time it's his birthday. And he goes, "I'm 6 months older," and I always get to tell him, "And don't forget it." So
Well, I
don't
will hold it
forget
against.
that.
I will
So.
hold it against him.
So, Les, did you have any other questions for the lovely Carol before we let her
No,
go
she's
on
answered
her
them
way?
all.
Yeah,
Needless
you
to say,
did.
everybody listening, you can see she's an expert, knows what she's doing.
All
And
right. I appreciate that.
for somebody self-taught, I will be honest with you. You were so concise and so, brought up so many answers. Like I said, I had a couple other questions that were already automatically answered. You can tell what people are going to ask, and
Yeah.
it's great with that PowerPoint. And I would definitely like to talk to you off the air, Carol,
Yeah,
and maybe
sure.
we can do something to really help push this.
I
Less
would love it. I mean, anytime, like I said,
magical.
anytime if I can get in front of vets or again, even non-vets, because I see that a lot of family members have veterans in their family. A lot of my friends have veterans in their family. And it just takes one conversation around the Thanksgiving table to dispel some of these myths that I put together, So I appreciate the time. I really do. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like I said, this was very, very well received, and I cannot wait until we talk again. So, Carol, I know that you got to leave,
Okay. Thank you.
but thank you so very much for joining us,
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.
and have a great evening.
You too.
So, all
Bye all.
right, thank you.
Okay,
Goodbye.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Once again, you can get a hold of Carol by calling her at 303-332. 7350 303-352-7350, or going to her email at ccordova@lendingvets.com. The other way you can do it is by going to that magical QR code of hers right there. Scan that code, and it will give you all of the contact information for her. It's a look. This was, less. I said it just a minute ago. That was magical. It truly was. I mean, there was so much information in there that so many vets are going to need to know. Yeah. And this is something that one of the organizations, Les, and then we'll get right back to our conversation. But one of the great organizations that I think I'm going to make an introduction to is our friends at Project Die Hard. That was great. That really was. Did you got all your questions answered? I know that you brought her on because you had questions of your own.
Yeah, I got them all. She covered it all well, which is because I had no concept of all of it. So that's why I thought if I don't know it, other people don't. And so, yeah, she did very well.
Yeah, well, I'll agree with that. All right, Les. So what do we got going on with coming up with 3 ways to banking? We're coming up on a deadline, aren't we?
Yep, we sure are. Saturday. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a PowerPoint here. But one of the things I don't know if they can copy this link, but if you have employees or if you are a nonprofit, in 1 hour. My manager, Dan Bowman, has a Zoom every Wednesday night at 7. And I've got the link there if you want to join us. He has built many businesses. He's been in business consulting for 19 years. And you can ask him questions about employee benefits or nonprofits because, but the 2 deadline is on Saturday is one, membership, which I'm going to do on the PowerPoint here in a minute, is the two benefits you get before you sign up by Saturday is one-time $25 benefit. And it's no more annual. And second, you get double Z-Bucks for the first year. And as I go through this PowerPoint, you'll understand that more. But the benefits on this is absolutely huge. And the second thing, as far as if you're going to get into the business, Saturday's the day before it, because we have a match that when you buy the business, if you get 20 members, we give you 20. That'll happen after November. Right now, if you get in, you get 20, we give you 40. And I'll explain that. So needless to say, it's huge for people that want to build a business. And so anyway, I'm going to show the PowerPoint and summarize here.
All right, that's fine. And I did just put this Zoom information into the chat. So all you have to do is click on that Zoom. It does start here in 55 minutes. So please join them over there and check out what they've got. Les, the show is yours.
Okay. Let's see, where is it here? Got to find it.
While Les is finding that, I do want to once again bring up the QR code in the corner. No matter if you're in Maine or Colorado, we need your support. Make a purchase of a book on our website, and you can find out more by going to Community Pay It Forward to upcoming events. Go there, and you can support what we do by purchasing a book from one of our great partner authors. You purchase these books, we'll sign them for you, and we'll drop them off to our hospitals, or you have them delivered to your home and deliver it to your hospital. So, because like, again, I've said many, many times, steal this idea. Let's help kids in hospitals. All right, Les.
Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen, and so can everyone else.
Okay. First off, there's four main benefits of this $25 annual membership. Again, if you get it by Saturday, it's $25 one time. First off, we're going to have an e-commerce website that'll have 30 to 50% off of hundreds of thousands of products. This will be active next week, from diapers, sporting goods, kitchen appliances, fashion items. The next is 30 to 50%, and I'm going to be going through this, off of thousands of premier travel destinations worldwide. We'll also have vacation rentals. And if you want to continue to use holdouthotel.com, you can do that. We're going to be partnering with 330 of your favorite retailers. People ask me all the time, what if I get all my wholesale stuff on eBay? Well, if you buy a gift card from us, and then buy from eBay, you're going to get two benefits. One, you're going to get 1 to 10% of that transaction in a savings account. And then you're going to build more Z-Bucks to buy on our website. The next thing is barter system. I'm going to go through some stuff where you actually, if you're a business owner, you're going to be able to tremendously barter with people through these goods. Now, it all comes down to right now, people use debit card and they don't get any benefit. But there's 155 million a week that use the debit card. Well, we're changing that. All we ask is that you take some of your money, open up an insured checking account in a bank that we are working with, and we issue a Visa card, this Visa card. Now, why would you want another Visa card? Well, this one's very special. If you go out there and buy $70, fill your tank, you now have 70 Z-Bucks. If you go out and buy groceries for 150 at any grocery store, you now have 150 Z-Bucks. Pay your property taxes like we did for 3,000. You now have 3,000 Z-Bucks. What do you get for Z-Bucks? We're going to have, like I said, hundreds of thousands of items on an e-commerce website. Everything you possibly think of. If you're into electronics, Samsung, LG. If you're into sports, Spalding, Wilson. If you're a golfer, TaylorMade. If you're into fashion, Gucci, Rolex. all the different ones will be on this website, 30 to 50% off. Now, people ask me all the time, how can we do 30 to 50% off? Let me ask you this. When you go into a retail store and you buy a pair of Nikes, are you aware they're 30 to 50% markup? Well, if you're a business person, you'll say, well, of course, they have to keep their rent up. They have to keep their employees going. They have to have that kind of markup. Well, we don't have that kind of overhead. So we have a 5 to 10% markup, and we pass the rest on to our members. Again, $25. To give you exactly how it works, let's say you bought those Nike shoes, or you go look at them. They're at Walmart, they're at Amazon, they're at Foot Locker for $100. Remember, you filled your gas tank for $70 and you got 70 Z bucks. So our price is 100, but you get to buy it down. For 25 Z bucks, you get to buy those Nikes for $75. Electric bikes are very popular right now. Instead of $699, you buy it down with 245 Z bucks to $454. The one big one, especially young mothers, $53 diapers. Boy, it kills the budget. With us, it's going to be $26.27 Z bucks. And again, every single thing you could possibly want is going to be on this website. Hundreds of thousands of items debuting next week. We'll also have flash sales like Ray-Ban. People ask us how we do this. We'll take some of that 10% profit, number one, because we want people to come to the website every day. And they see these flash sales, like, for instance, a Louis Vuitton bag for 2,370 Z bucks. 2 comments I've had on this. The lady said, you mean I'm going to be able to buy this? And what did 2,370 Z bucks cost her? Nothing. All she did was go out and spend money. We give her the Z bucks. The other thing is the husband said, boy, my wife's going to spend $2,300. I'd rather have it Z bucks.
Yeah, that's kind of to your point, Les. That would be paying your taxes, 1 year, or
Yep.
paying 2 months rent, and you get a free bag that's
Yep.
that only the stars have. So
Yep.
I mean, that is so cool.
Yep. And again, if you go to the number 3, ways2banking.com, you can sign up tonight for that $25 and have all these benefits next week. The other thing is travel. We are going to be the premier destination for travel, and we call it fun insurance. How many people would like to be able to go on vacations they couldn't afford before? That's what we're going to have. Give you an idea. And if you like luxury, Las Vegas Hilton, regular $614 for 3 nights, 311 Z bucks, 283. Know any Hilton that you can walk into for less than $100 a night? Yeah. And if you're into luxury, we have it. But also, if you're not, you still can go on hotels.com and get a regular hotel, and 1 to 10% of that goes into a savings account, which I'll explain. So we have all the vacation clubs. But the other thing we have, I don't know if you're aware of it, but timeshares are the most luxurious resorts around the world. The difference with timeshare, of course, you have the upfront fee from, 10, 15, 30, 40,000. Then you have a yearly maintenance fee. With us, you don't have either of those, but you are going to be able to rent the per week, these top resorts for as low as $199 anywhere in the world. As it says, over 1 million resort rooms worldwide that will have access starting next week. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You see it online for $975. With us, it'll be $244 and 731 Z bucks. Can you imagine being there? Can you imagine taking your family for $244? This is available next week. Again, $25. Greece, online, $1,275, $718, and 557 Z bucks. Now, this is what I was starting to talk about as far as the savings. Anytime you purchase any items in the Z Club, 2% go into a savings account automatically. Then the other thing that I'm going to show you is I tell you we partner with all of these companies. The way we do it is this. Gift cards. I don't know if you're aware of it. I wasn't. 40% of all gifts, holiday, birthday, and everything are now gift cards. And so you decide your son-in-law would like to have some tools. So you send him a Lowe's gift card. Well, when you send that, first off, you get 1 to 10%. Each one of these retailers have determined what it is, 1 to 10% into your savings account. Now, let's say he says, no, I don't want tools. I want to take my wife out to the chart house. So all he does is exchange that for any gift card of the 330 we have. Again, folks, this is groundbreaking, changing. And every time the gift card is purchased, the person with the business that signed up gets paid. The people that buy the franchise for $4.95 is going to get paid for everything. Also, nonprofits, I'm going to show you, and individuals, you can sign your daughter up going to college for $35 to represent our memberships. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. So we are partnering with over 300 of your favorite retailers. People ask me, what if I like Amazon same-day delivery? Just buy the gift card from Amazon, pay, and have delivery, because we're partnering with all of these companies. Like you, groceries delivered by Whole Foods, Albertsons, Safeway, King Soopers. Again, just pay it by a gift card, and you get 1 to 10% of that into a savings account. Plus, you get all the Z-Bucks to buy on our website. And people want bulk food, bulk groceries. Go to Sam's Club. We partner with them. Delivery of eBay. That's one thing one person said. I get so many special deals from eBay. And one person told me they had a policy, I didn't know it, that if something is said it's delivered and it's not on your front door, they will replace it. Good. Continue with eBay. We've partnered with them. And we partnered with over 300 of the stores you're buying from right now, from Burger King to Saks Fifth Avenue. And you can go into Burger King, fill out a gift card on the app, pay them, and you get 1 to 10% into your savings account. What else does this cost? Right now until Saturday, through Saturday, $25 for life. And you get double Z-Bucks. If you sign up before Saturday, then you get double Z-Bucks. So instead of that property tax at $3,000, we made $6,000 Z-Bucks. And so you go to get groceries for $150, you now have 300 Z-Bucks. And it's for the first year. Plus, as of next week, when you sign up for the 25, now you do get 500 Z-Bucks immediately as soon as you sign up for the 25. But as of next week, you invite your friends in. Say, hey, I got a Louis Vuitton bag for $2,370. How many ladies out there would love to do that? So that you sign them up and you get 500 Z-Bucks. Can you imagine 10 of your friends? 5,000 Z-Bucks. Now, so the benefits of the annual membership is this. E-commerce website, 30 to 50% off of hundreds of thousands of items, 30 to 50% off of thousands of premier travel destinations. The Power Savings Account, folks, that's going to be unbelievable. Right now, if you sign up, you can start using that app tomorrow. And because the app, all you do is go to your Play Store and download the Transact Card app, and you can start doing gift cards now. So like one lady said, I've got 16 people I need for my holiday. You mean I can sit here in 10 minutes and give them all? Yep. Now the barter system, to explain that. Let's say that you are a business and, well, in fact, I'll tell you, I'm a member of Dr. Brinket's team, and his services, he's always tried to make affordable for all of his clients. He's used barter systems. Well, this is the biggest barter system that'll ever happen. What I mean by that is when you sign up somebody and you're a digital branch office, which I'm going to get to in a second, you sign them up for $25. They get 500 Z-Bucks for signing up. So the doctor, he has services that's $1,800 for 12 sessions. So now he trades the 500 Z-Bucks for $500 off of his services. But I'll tell you a big one, and this is going to change business forever. In fact, one of my managers has built and sold many businesses. Now he owns Loop, which is a New York Stock Exchange company. And he says this is going to be the biggest change in business and employee benefits he's ever seen. To give you an example, we have a landscaper. He, between Lowe's and Home Depot, he spends $50,000 a month. And so, of course, he's signed up, so he's going to have 100,000 Z-Bucks. So the first thing he did is he took 3 of his managers, and we're going to have a cruise in June that's strictly Z-Bucks. So he's planning on using those Z-Bucks to send his 3 managers to a cruise to the Bahamas. But the other thing is the next time he has a landscaping job, let's say 10,000, and somebody else is bidding on it. All he does is have that homeowner sign up for $25, and then he can give them Z-Bucks. And so he gives them 4,000 Z-Bucks to take his family on a vacation. Who do you think they're going to buy the landscaping job from? Folks, this is going to be the tremendous barter system for businesses. Now, let's talk about how you get paid. First off, I have to do an income disclaimer. Transact Card does not guarantee any level of earnings. Earnings are based on successfully building your DBO, digital branch office community, of branch offices that do the same. All commissions are paid on commission qualified digital branch offices and the community of their DBOs and TCMs. Now, our franchise is $495 plus $50 a month. As I said, we're disrupting many industries. Tell me a franchise you can buy for $495 and $50 a month. Now, all franchises have a service fee. In other words, when you make money from them, they keep so much. Well, ours is 10% unless you sign up by Saturday. It'll be 1% and 9% will go into the savings account. And now I'm going to talk to you how the money works. First off, we're going to have businesses change their liabilities into assets. The employee benefits now are going to pay the company to have employee benefits. And I'll show you what I mean by that. And this should be marketing services, not merchant services. Again, I just explained how the landscaper is going to do it. Plus, you'll be able to go to any nonprofit, and I'm going to show you here in a second, and sponsor them. So the business that's now sponsoring nonprofits, they can actually sign up the nonprofit and get them much more money, and it'll pay back everything that they sponsored, which I'll show you. Now, for companies that have employees, we have a 3-minute marketing video that shows that company how they're going to make $6,000 plus by signing up their employees on this. Because remember, all their employees, all their friends, everybody they refer, anytime they swipe that Visa card anywhere in the world, the employer is going to get paid. Plus, they buy any gift card for the retailers they're presently working with, they're going to get paid. And so again, we have a 3-minute video. We're going to have all the marketing stuff. You don't have to be a specialist. Just send our marketing videos and people will be signing up. Now, also sports teams and charities. That's one of the things, all the different charities that are on this Zach, we need to talk to, because next week I can actually help them. The way I was talking about $35 a month. Now, this works for charities, but it also, if you have a kid in college, you can set them up for $35 a month and they can sell our memberships. What they do is for every $25 membership, they receive $2.50 plus 20 basis points on all transactions. I'll tell you what that means. Now, on the charity, what we're going to do, or as far as that goes in the college, if they go out and get 20 new friends, first off, they have, if it's a charity, 20 new supporters. First off, 20 times 250, they made $50. Now, the average person on debit card does $2,500 a month. That's 10, and plus they signed up 20 people, so that's 10,000 Z-Bucks. So they made $150. Now what happens on a charity is we're going to have a contest. What that means is you have 10,000 Z-Bucks here to work with. So you take half of them and you tell your 20 new members, go out and find your friends, because we're going to have a contest. The one that can get the most, I'm going to give 5,000 Z-Bucks. Take your family on the next vacation. And so at an average, they get 5 apiece. Now that nonprofit has 100 supporters. And now we're at $875 a month. Can you imagine doing that 4 or 5 times? Pretty soon the nonprofit could be as $4,000 or $5,000 a month. And so this is as easy as it gets. As of next week, this will be active. $35 a month, you can represent our benefits. And everybody asks us, is there really that much debit card use? Try $2.7 billion a day. I think there's enough people out there to talk to. And when you buy the digital branch office of $495, let's say, for instance, you're a restaurant. First off, you sign up all your employees for $25 or $35. They're going to start talking to all their friends because they want to get paid. But business owners come into your restaurant and they're watch a 5-minute video while they're having dinner. They say, oh, I want this for my employees. So they pay the $495 and sign up. Pretty soon you've got digital offices all over the country. And this goes 10 levels deep. And so the person that ate in your restaurant goes to New York and tells a friend, and it goes 10 levels deep. Now, the whole thing is to become a manager. What that means is if you have 20 members or you've signed up 3 businesses at $495, then you're a manager. Now you basically got guaranteed income coming in. What I mean by that, up to, as long as the company's making money. If you do that within the first 30 days, you'll have $500 a month coming in. If it takes you more than 30 days, you have $250. To explain that. And by the way, every time you sign up a manager or a DBO, you get paid. And I won't go into that, especially network marketers. We have thousands of network marketers coming over and joining us, the top legends in it because of these pay programs. And this is the one I'm going to show you that blows everybody away. We have a community revenue bonus. What this consists of is a pool of money that everybody's paid out of. Now, how is this revenue bonus pool filled? Every time a card is swiped, a little bit goes in here. Every time a gift card is bought, a little bit goes in here. Every time you go shop at a retailer, a little bit goes in here. So once a person's a manager, again, they have 20 members or have signed up 3 businesses, they have $250 a month coming in. Tell me one other direct sales out there with 20 members, you have $250 a month coming in. Now, if you did it within 30 days, you have 500. Folks, they tell us a lot of divorces could be stopped with money of $500 a month. And once these, you have 3 managers, each one of those get 3. Now you're a senior manager. Now you got $1,500 a month. That's $18,000 a year just for getting in 9 people. And then 27, and up here, the president, that's 231 people, businesses you've signed up. Look the kind of money we're talking about. Folks, this is the disruptor in all businesses that we've seen. And now, also to let you know, and this is one thing I was mentioning to you, if you get in by Saturday for the $495, all franchises pay national advertising so people will buy from their local franchisees. We're doing things a little bit different. We go to the influencers, like, for instance, LeBron James. He has 25 million followers. To give you an idea what kind of pull he has with him, a pizza company came to him and asked him to do a ad for him. The pizza company made $12 million in 1 month. LeBron James made $1 million. We're having LeBron James bring all of his people over to Transact Card. He doesn't want to work with them. He just wants to get paid for them. And so right now, if you buy before the end of Saturday, when you bring in 20, Transact Card gives you 40 2 times. After Saturday, it's still great. You bring in 20, they give you 20. And that's going to continue forever. So if you get 100, you get 200. So we're making it so people can't fail. Folks, the one thing the founders of this really believe in is the little guy. And that's what it's all about, the little guy. And this compares it to a regular franchise. On a regular franchise, you get in for $25,000 to $250,000. McDonald's $1.5 million. Training for 3 to 6 months. You have to do staff. You have to monthly rent. You have to do all that. With us, $500 and $50 a month, and you're in. And it's the one business that completely blows everybody away. And this just gives you an idea how many. If you attend this in a half hour, Dan Bowman, he has 450 DBOs that he's signed up, digital branch offices. And for instance, we have a sports philanthropy that has 50,000 Christians in it, and they're all members. And all these different ones that we've signed up, chambers, right and left. This is going to be a way for chambers to help all their businesses under them and get funded. And let's see, I'm going to end with that. End with that. And any questions?
No, I mean, I just, we did get, while we were on there, I was talking to a really, really good friend of mine, Mr. John Wayne Vogels from the Martyred Angels Foundation. And it looks like he and I are going to be talking, and I will get him to you right away. So I know that he is looking forward to continuing all of their mission, dealing with or helping parents who lose children. And it's a heartbreaking organization that was created because of a necessity after the loss of his son at 3 years old. So I'm really hoping that we can talk to John and find a way to get Martyred Angels involved with what you got going.
Great. And that's one of the things that, again, next week I'll actually be able to offer the 35, but if he's interested. And the reason the nonprofit would want to do the 495 is I have an attorney that I'm working with in New York that we set up a LLC, single member 600 plus the franchise. So we're looking at 1,100. Multiple level member, it'd be 2,000, including the franchise. But then you can actually go to corporations and bring in the whole corporations and all their employees. With the $35, you can only do individuals, but it can grow very quickly. So if you're thinking about getting into it before Saturday, $495, the benefits, again, you get double the amount coming in from Transact. And the plus the 1% is 10% on the franchise fee. Any other questions?
I just wanted to make one last point. And remember, starting next week, you saw all those businesses. You know what's coming up. It's a holiday of giving, a holiday of gifting. And imagine making all of those purchases. And when you make those purchases, you can reward yourself at the end of the year. You don't even have to wait till the end of the year, but you can also reward yourself with, you get enough, you could be going on a nice cruise just because you shopped using a card. So wonderful program, my friend. So I'm going to go so far as to say this was a fantastic show, Les. You did it again. You brought us Carol, who was just amazing. All of your information is amazing. And remember, you have until Saturday to get double Z-Bucks for a year. So let's get cracking on this. Once again, all you got to do is get a hold of Les. There's 3 ways to do it, because there's 3waystobanking.com, 303-579-6881, 303-579-6881, and Les, LES, at 3waystobanking.com, Les, LES, at 3waystobanking.com.
And
my
you
friend,
just can go to 3waysbanking.com and sign up immediately.
Yep. My friend, thank you very much.
You
I
bet.
appreciate it. And we will talk to you again here real soon.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
What an amazing show. Look, I love the guy. He's, we've been concentrating a lot on the 3 ways to banking, but the truth is that's not all he does. I mean, he's very, very busy, very caring individual. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He's got a lot of things, a lot of logs in the fire, if you will. And everything he's got going on is going to help someone in some way. Hey, we don't have time to play the video that I wanted to play this evening in this show. So what we're going to do is, starting in 9 minutes on the channel that you're watching me on right now, we're going to have the recorded interview of our brand new partner, Ricky Birkenstock of Ricky Birkenstock Coaching. I've done a lot of interviews over the last 2 years with this show. Every interview brings a different amount of enjoyment to me. Ricky is energetic. Ricky is special, and Ricky and I are really going to try to do some things to really make a difference for other people, and especially here in the Northern Colorado area. And Ricky lives about 30 minutes from myself, so we're going to be doing some stuff here. But if you have kids who you feel maybe they're going down a dangerous path, or you have kids that are just trying to figure it out, check out this video, okay? You can go onto his website or onto his landing page in the Community Pay It Forward Partners, which is Community Pay It Forward / Ricky Birkenstock. Okay. But his show is going to be coming up in about 7 minutes from right now. And I'm going to be shutting down here, and we're going to be going there. I want to thank Carol. And I definitely want to thank my brother Les. Just a fantastic information all around. Look, the VA loans, I know that she actually took something that I've been told is a really complicated situation, and she's turned it into, very well explained. Please remember the QR code up there in the corner, because the QR code is taking you to the information and the way to support us on the 2023 Chili Cook-Off and Poker for Pediatrics. Thank you very much for everyone for joining us. We've got a really quick couple minutes left. Once again, I want to send my undying love to Kayla and Jaden and baby KK. You can see her on my profile picture on Facebook. Paisley, your baby sister, is going to be coming tomorrow, and you're going to have to be a big girl and help mommy. And just know that Grandpa loves you. And Presley, I'm going to say it here on the show. I cannot wait to meet you. I don't even know you, and I already love you with all my heart, little girl, and welcome you to this big, big, crazy world. And but Kayla, please take care of yourself. Know that we're here. And of course, I love you. And really am looking forward to getting the good news. February 22nd is coming up, folks, and I've just about got the packet put out. We want sponsors for all 22 hours. Every time that you sponsor one of our 22 hours for the 22 hours for veteran suicide, every time you do that, it's a sponsorship to 10 organizations. These 10 organizations are still, 8 of them are still to be picked, but you know what? We need your help, okay? You get your name on the scrolling on the bottom. Your name will appear throughout the hour, and your logo will appear where the QR code is up there, and your name will your name will appear on the bottom screen like this for the entire hour. So little pub for Aziza Project there, but for the entire hour that you sponsor, it'll be down there with all of those sponsors. But we want all 22 hours sponsored this year, so we can make sure that we've got participation and we've got the best results supporting some of these great causes. We're like I said, by this time next week, I will have that down, and we're also going to have the second half of the February November Community Pay It Forward One Hope Wine Show. We're going to be bringing back Jeff, and we're going to be bringing in Stephanie from the Aziza Project again, because there is a coalition between both of their organizations, and so we're going to be bringing them both on to talk to them. Anyway, we're at the end of this show, but please do stick around, because starting in 1 minute, we've got Ricky Birkenstock, an interview I did this morning, and it's, look, I love this guy. I truly do. I think he's going to be an invaluable partner. So please love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. Please remember that if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. This is Zach with Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PACT channels saying, I'll see you soon. Who knows when, but it'll be soon.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.